Hello family, and welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Hey, I want you guys to be safe on this Thanksgiving holidays. You know, they say give thanks and not COVID. Somebody said that. So let's be careful out there. Today, I'm going to talk about 4 stock that I think is plenty of buying opportunities on this dip. We're going to talk about that, and I'm going to show you some of my entry and exit plans coming right up. Let's go. All right, fam. So I'm going to talk about some stock that I still think are hot stock. They're just dipping, all right? They're just dipping, and here's why. Generally, stock goes down this time of the year. I want you guys to Google it, check it out. But what happens is there's a recovery from Thanksgiving to Christmas, okay? So there's generally a sell-off. Holidays begin, people are starting to buy gifts, people are cashing out, and some people are locking in their losses for tax purposes. That's a whole nother video, right? And so what happens is you have days like today and the stock, and you know, if you look, even though the Dow broke 30,000, a lot of the stocks are red today. There's nothing wrong with every company out there. It's just that people are doing profit taking. That's what's going on, good people. All right. And so just know that this is average around this time of year, right? But generally between Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's a recovery. So I'm going to tell you the first stock is BEEM, B-E-E-M. I think that it is a buying opportunity right now to buy some of these dips. I got into BEEM. And I got in at around 17. It was like 1690-ish. And I'm going to ride BEEM long. Okay, I'm going to ride BEEM long. If you guys want to know what BEEM is, you know, go and look at some of my other videos that I've posted about BEEM. All right, it's a solar company that will provide solar powered charging stations. Okay. And so I don't want to go into that long. So my play on BEEM is long. Yes, it's giving back some gains, but I'm still up at my purchase price. Remember, red don't scare me. I'm long on this stock. It's going to double, triple, you know, and maybe quadruple over years, but I'm long on BEEM. All right. The second stock I think is a good stock for the dip is CIIC, right? But let me explain to you guys how I'm playing CIIC. What I'm doing with CIIC, again, this stock I got at $17. So if you look at it today, I'm still up. But this is a buy the rumor, sell the news play for me. Buy the rumor simply means you buy the stock on the hype. This is a SPAC, special purpose acquisition company. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a merger, right? And so what I'm doing with this stock is I'm going to sell it before the merger. For those of you that's long on this company, there's plenty of room to be made, money to be made. All right. But what I think is going to happen with this company is right after the merger, it's going to go down like so many other mergers have. At first, when mergers happen, so SPACs are operating differently than they used to. You know, when SPACs really boomed in the EV market earlier, it ran up after the merger. Now, what happens is people like me that's got in early, and there are some people that got this stock at $10. So then it runs up, and then the merger happens, and then there's a big sell-off. This time, I'm going to be selling off, right? I'm going to take my profits and I'm going to run. You know, it could be, no one can tell where it is. If I bought it at 17 and I could sell it at 34, I'm good with that, right? I'm good with 100% of my money in a short period of time. So of course, CIIC, which is a rival, they're not going to have the merger until next year. So there's plenty of time to make money on this stock. And I think it's a good idea for you guys to buy these dips. But remember, before you make any financial decisions, you should first do your own research and then second, consult with your financial advisor, to which I am not. My disclosure is in all my videos. I'm telling you what Larry is doing, all right? So we got BEEM, we got CIIC that are two of the stock that I believe there's room to buy these dips. These days like these and periods like these, a lot of times, most of the times, are blessings because I like to buy red and sell green. The third one is a stock that I haven't covered, and that's NNDM, Nano Dimensions. A lot of hype around Nano Dimensions. We know Kathy Woods of ARC, which I am invested in ARC, bought a ton of these shares of this NNDM twice. She bought it and then it fell and she bought some more. Okay, so that's what I mean by buying red, selling green. All right, she bought like 1 million more shares. All right, and so for those of you that don't know Kathy Woods, she's over ARK Investment, which is an ETF. Right, you have a bunch of stock into one stock. Let's just say she's the female younger version of Warren Buffett to me. She's very innovative and very forward thinking. And she has a lot of this NNDM she trusted. And so that says enough for me. So I'm loading up the boat now while these stocks are dipped, depending on when you see this video, right? The fourth one is SBE, Switchback or Charge Point, which is also a merger. Now, what I'm going to do with Switchback is a little different than what I'm going to do with CIIC. Okay, with a rival, I'm going to buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm going to run it up and I'm going to pop it. But with SBE, I got it at such a low price. I'm up like 200% on SBE. I got in early. So I don't believe that after the merger, it's going to come down to a point lower than what I purchased it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this past the merger, let it come down, and then I'm going to buy some more because there's going to be a sell-off. The reason I'm going to buy some more of SBE is because they are the charging stations, right? They are the charging stations, and President-elect Biden said that he wanted 500,000 more charging stations across America, and they're worldwide. And so they have such a market cap. The upside is so humongous from where it is now. That is my plan. So I want to show you guys my entry plans and my exit plans. So with SBE, I'm holding long until after the merger. And when the merger happens, it's also a SPAC. When the merger happens, I am going to then wait for the sell-off. And then I'm going to buy even more on that dip. And I'm going to hold this stock for 5 to 10 years because I'm going to make a lot of money, right? And so I'm just showing you guys how to move, bob and weave when you're in a position like this. So remember, in one of the older videos, I showed you guys, we had two ladies, right? When you buying dips, you have to be selective and you don't go all in. So you don't buy dips and you just running through a grocery store and you just throwing everything in the basket. That's not the way you buy dips. The way you buy dips is you carefully select, like picking fruit and you're going through the fruit, you're testing it, seeing if it's ripe, and then you put some in your basket. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice here. So that's what you do. That's what I'm doing, buying these dips. Very important for you guys to watch my previous video about setting trailing stop losses. I'm going to provide it up here at the end of this video. I beg all of you to do this because it helps you to protect your money when there's a sell-off like this or a volatile period. So remember, there's generally a recovery around Christmas because Christmas people start to spend money, and then it's a recovery, especially if it's a strong year, and it shows that retail is growing, and that puts more money, that's more liquidity to go into the markets, right? So I want you guys to do your research and know these things ahead of time. And so I'm going to ask anyone that's not subscribed to this page to subscribe. But I want to caution you guys, I spend so much time getting rid of these Bitcoin guys that post on the page. And then there's someone that has a page like mine. They're phony. Just look at it. If ever they're posting numbers, don't do it. Everything is not like it seems. Everything is not like it seems. Just like these guys, like, I can show you how to make $1 million in 3 months. And he's in his mom's basement. Everything is not like it seems. Okay, I always say that. Listen, I can afford to get a Benz or a Beamer, or I could get a fancy car. I'm going to get a Tesla. I'm waiting on next year. I'm waiting for the new model. So I can afford to get these cars, but I view money different, right? I could show you a really fat portfolio. I've done well in the market, but that stuff, right now, it just doesn't faze me, right? I view money differently. I'm driving a 6-year-old Chrysler 300. So I can afford those things, but my money is best in the market making money. Those of us that's been investing for a long time, we view money differently. So it's not about what you purchase all the time. People, and one of the things I try to get you guys not to do is don't focus on being consumers. Focus on being creators. You're creating wealth. You got creators and you got consumers. I like to create because other people will consume what I create, right? So you guys are creating wealth. And that's what we do here at Stock Up. So just to prove my point, see this? See how it matches this? See how my hanky matches my turtleneck? I'm going to show you guys. And this is a sock, right? So I got some funny to tell y'all. One day I had a sock. So I couldn't find hankies when I was in church, and I would be trying to match my ties, but I always had these array of these socks, right? So I would roll socks up and put it in my, and then one day I was at church and this lady was crying beside me, and people generally, you offer, a handkerchief, it was an old church thing. I had a sock and I wasn't even sure if the sock was washed or not. And I'm looking at this lady, I'm like, oh, I'm looking for tissue. I'm like, I'm not pulling a sock out. But anyway, it was funny when it happened. You had to be there. So I just want you guys to remember these things. BEEM, B-E-E-M, CIIC, NNDM, and SBE. These dips are buying opportunities. I believe it'll be buying opportunities. The market opens. Remember, the market is closed Thursday, and Friday it's only open for a short day. But there'll probably still be buying opportunities. And then next week starts, and who knows what next week is. So during these holidays, I want you guys to keep your boy, me, in your prayers, and my family. We lost my mother last year, Thanksgiving Eve night. Okay, so a year ago today, we lost my dear mom. And unfortunately, I talk about my dream team. My stock analyst, Josh Nichols, lost his dad on yesterday. So if you could do us a favor, Josh Nichols and myself and our families, could you please just say a prayer for us and for all of those this Thanksgiving that will have an empty plate at the table? Say a prayer for us. Remember, we're family here. I love you guys so much. And I want you to have a safe and beautiful Thanksgiving, okay? Don't forget to watch this video about how to protect your money. Love you guys.